Masija Tamaji Dondo Sanji Kuman Tobaja. The Chedo Damishu Namata was Sanjambe. Colon Sel of December Shu.
So first we have to set the motivation, the bodhicitta, and think that one is receiving these teachings of Dharma as a method, as a means to attain full enlightenment of the Buddha, in order to help all sentient beings. So the explanation is the continuation from yesterday of the practice of Guru Yoga, and something that one has to recite every day. And we have just come to the point of receiving the four initiations, four empowerments as blessings. So this text of Guru Yoga, one has to recite anyway, whether one is able to recite a sadhana or not. This is something obligatory. So after finishing the recitation of the mantra, the name mantra of the Guru, then one has to make a special request with full the dedication and faith to the Guru, and then from his crown, then the white rays of light then go out, and then so come back, and then will absorb into your crown, and then this then makes that your body up to the neck is completely filled with white rays of light. So the white rays of light, what you have received before, that has purified all the negative imprints of what one has accumulated through physical action, and receiving the full physical blessings of the deity, of the Guru. And after that, in a similar way, that from the throat of Guru, then going out red rays of light, and the light with like an empty tube of red light and nectar, and coming back and absorbing into one's throat, and one's body is filled up to the heart, and then through that all the imprints that one has accumulated, negative imprint of speech, is completely sort of purified, and one receives the blessings of the speech of the Guru. So after that, and this read through the blessing of the speech of the Guru, that one has received the empowerment or the blessing of the secret initiation, and after that from Guru's heart, then the red rays of light go out, then will absorb into one's heart, and one's body is filled with blue rays of light and with blue colored nectar up to the navel, and at that point that all the negative imprints that one is accumulated by one's mind is completely purified, and one receives the blessings of the wisdom initiation.
다 라메 데르와 때와다 산에게 하다 소 세보다 하정부들에 어제 가도 나서버 주스도 가도 나와가 주고 라메 때에 소스야 되래 어제가 주 할리에 어제가 주 가마팅 세정가 주 파주사데 하들 송 나보데 소수사데 지원들만 내가 산에 내 때와 산에 가보디 지오도 손 마보디 내가 고보 내가 세보디 때와 장고 산에서 다가나지 다 라멜 네 산에게 하이 되래 장고제 나방가주 대 지발이 하이게 어제 가보디 지오도 냥들이네 또 다고 니주 소사디 니니 소니 다 내는 파주 소소 가니니니체 대나는 어제 늦어 나방가보디 좀 늦어 난 탐제가 니지 바샤단지 바장 원시버 세원을 부지토 라면 구송도 지절로 용수조가 더더 매바시 내 원시 전로도 전부 지가 말이 어야.
So after that, from the syllable so in the navel of the Guru, and as well as from the green syllable ha at the secret place of the Guru, then going out 5-colored rays of light of white, red, and blue, and then yellow and green color, and then this come back and then absorb into 5 places, like all the white rays of light and absorbing into the crown, and the red rays of light and nectar into the throat, and then the blue rays of light and nectar into the heart, and the yellow rays of light and blue and nectar into the navel, and green colored rays of light and the nectar into the secret place. So through this, then all the impurities are completely purified, and one receives the full blessings of the Guru, and at the same time that one receives the empowerment of the syllable or the word.
다데 원시 전로 차는 라만 니슈 니슈가 미바텔 토모도 토모 많이 버니요 토모 많이 버 니슈 토노마도 제야요 말이 토모와데 건강하고 시쇼 그래 반에 자라마르 무지 다기 닝을 벤데딩 쇼가 가리치고 고순 투용으로 자도 수 차지게 되그래 차송되네 저그래 니슈 토모 많이 버 더요는 차송도 그래 미바 미라 송요 되저텔라 차지게 되그래 So
after that, the absorption of Guru into one's heart, and there's 4 lines which is related to this practice, and so there are 2 possible ways of absorption of Guru into one's heart. One is the common one, which you find here, and the other one is very special, which could only be done when you have received the blessing of the absorption of Guru into one's heart. It's a type of empowerment, and so usually one can only recite one. But if you have received this special absorption of Guru into one's heart through a blessing, then one has to recite this verse 3 times.
타바네 자가 라마르 무시서 수와 슈다도 타발라 되네 지가 라마디 총루 추주베 텝센데 총지질은 거니 아니 지원 마슈 네가 랑게 니 빼만 더제도 줄베 니 구샤 동주요 말이 랑게 니게 모디 임발을 빼만 더제도 줄수 삼아셔 니바 개부주는 베 노스와 카샤 동주요 말이 니게 모디 빼만 더제도 줄베 띵도 더외 친구.
So when you visualize, when you do the visualization for this verse, then you should visualize that the Guru above your head then becomes smaller and smaller, and finally it becomes the size of your thumb, and then this enters from the opening of the crown into the heart. At that point, your heart is in the form of 8-petaled the lotus.
sim ganga mare nyome sim shendu chawe long sim re shendu chawe long sim da mo yirme be su ju so samache 现在这个龙的那边不同武器吧，现在这个新的那边头同武器吧，龙跟龙跟当就有过的，龙引产没吧，得到那边送武器吧钱呢，现在这个龙送武器吧的，得到我那边不送就是我一般入籍的钱里边，那么全球的呗，你给龙生让给龙生，现在这个龙生的我也没有收的有。龙生的只要没有上届毛头就把都被看看门这个，但不就送什么钱。
So then finally this little guru then will descend on a moon disk which is in the center of this 8-petaled lotus, and so there then it remains inseparable with one's subtle wind and subtle consciousness, and the tone of that wind then is the symbolizes the speech of one's guru, and one's speech is also in this way fully united with that speech of the guru, and so in this way that one's body, speech, mind is completely united with that of the guru in an inseparable way until one attains the full enlightenment of Buddha, and sort of in a very stable way.
他也没出来把这个了嘛，查送的看着不，查记以内，对他了白面看呀送过呀着不，对了家住特别着不，蒙古要的，他人家开要嘛的，白面看呀中国嘛的，他还让下去的，你瞧呀这个人是会生的。
So sometimes you hear after reciting the final prayer 1 or 3 times, then sometimes that one does it that the 8 petals sort of then close, and the lama remaining, one's guru remaining in that closed the lotus flower, and then will be sealed 6 times to make it more steady and stable. But here one doesn't have to think that 8 petals close one's guru inside that lotus. One can just leave it like that, and that itself is a very special profound aspect of the practice.
他什么朋友就跟那年天的当巴是，杨继春准备送的，一年到搞了我了送我的，那么年就那咱们就烧心当，他把准备听给他不买都没让我引信，接着当我就他就那么那天的中午，没把人家说了我的家伙，听一直没几段说我的，这样的，对象的那么年就的累计学才就开那人。当然也不要的，在这里要嘛的吧，没要嘛的，那我写下的写句嘛没嘛的，那么东北过的在这里要嘛的，等于说弄过的，没有么所以东北要的。
So it was the deity Tara herself have told to the great Mahasiddha Karwang that it is necessary that one must practice this text of Guru Yoga, because that since Guru is the very source of all attainments, all the spiritual progress, so therefore it is necessary that one has to recite these after taking the empowerment into the body mandala of the Guru, and also that after all this text is not very long and very short, and it's very easy and simple to practice.
만들어나 네 쇼네 쳤게요 마다 나네 자는 마제 유샤는 쿠쇼는 간제 또 년에 지금 있는 시 사버도 인디션의 미라지는 그만데 틀린 여보 야구진이자 좋은 다제 예버됐던 돈이 야구요.
So if one doesn't then recite these, then it doesn't make any sense to receive this empowerment, this special initiation of the deity. And so if possible, one should also, in addition to the practice of the Guru Yoga, one should also recite the long sadhana of the Tara.
That yeah. They are aling a lonely. Never tell me that the Java near the Hosuma to Kosulan Church and never Zulachi. Kosun so about children and never knew the Mola so much what you will mature. But the Longola Chihuahua to the Mola, you genuinely less about than about the Masuna, so Saba. Chihuahua Matamashi saw about the one is only. Then saw Sabani Ship and the Jil of Jewish by tent. Ma Lamaji Vegetarian singing some other Zorin, San singing some other Zorin, Yonzo Jewish major than Roshi Gushi. There was Sanjay Kosun Tovala Zorin, Jivico, Kosun Mata Machube, Landi, Kosun Tovashi Modern Rugola. The Meji Jirin Jivico, so Dashin Cuba Samchi, 고송을 제도 공방도 그 대라 대체 지진 시에 장제 종제 장제 뭐 최고는 고송을 지진에 서 다시 주변 난주시라 잡으소 고송을 제주에 다음에 내나 사요 걸고 뭐 제다 제장 지진도 메주디 주대 원소제 전국 걸고 뭐 신호 대나 장제 난주바로 년라 조주의 주지 조주시 라드 집에는 요새 제 계산 매제도 제라는데 고송도 집에 답에 난주는 지진시 지진지 시와 주고 나면 제다 대신도 장시 시도지 봐도다 봐도 정시가 라드 다마다게 주지 계산 매제도 제라 대대제 농고 로버라 제베 답에 난주네 봐도 농고 집에라 제다 시도지 시와 중시 랑대제 줄이 라베 품부 라베 죽은 zembe 줄이 라베 죽은 zembe 그자 매제도 제라 되지 지고 중은 루제 지 답에 내줄네 제리지 지고 두고 쉬어라 셰히노 장제 종외 솔라 다음에 봐도 셰르지 된지 종하다 장제 종제 남아메 더 종하다 남아 템베 종원이래 되니 치마다르 나야 쳔마다르 나데네 쳔마다르 마르 장제다 야르 종제 장제 소 남아신도 템베고네 장와시도 오 시버고도 셔도 내가 도마셔 남아 템베 저 주고 남아 저고마 레사바나 남아 템베 손아니 소서 혼도 누구 되변아 치마죠 제 집에나 치마지베 모르지 발라 치지 모르도 대지베 진주를 제레서 오고 바다로 오도랑 제송지베 밤에 고송지베 고모도 제발로 손아니 소 자치면서 모두 누구 베셔는데 소신 쇼바 자고라 소소비 신전에 매만이 라마니 임베 라마다 지저 많이 소는 소신에 게고 소신에 고 전전에 들어야 두고는 소사고 대야 용도 게지 중지 자와 마송자 저나 상대로 고송을 제지 매반도 좀제 게지게 좀 마파마도 고리 심벌을 주지 용라 다르지 제 초바 니셀이 송 대다 나나 취진 럽다 chöba jenla so jang changdere langne ja rongxe wo ge su jin jin ge ro ni zhe se shi ba la ge ji ge shi be se ma ja na le bar song so do ma ji jang song le jong wa da ji ro ni ge ji zhe ma se we shi so ju jang ju ba de an jang de ni gang ji jang ji lu na la ma ran la te me la me to di xian chu gu da ra se me yi me de je be chu ma jian du de le he jiang gu chu gang zang ba la lo gu ma ji da de yong su ju ba le 고도 용소 조버라 되니 고 용소 조버라 제 바라 조금만 지원도 제가 인생의 송 대답이라니 파마를 세워 도건데 될라니 왜당 일리고지 요새 정부주 뭐라마라 랑기 velama 이마라마 지점 제 차도 지다다 타고 돌아마 이다 산지자 보고가는 주 소만나 이고 나 오서라 바즈 시에도 무서 매바마 돌아마 주도 소인들 제장 단데라 니제 코로나라 계지 중시도 저 전에다 송요 말이 샹마요. 저는 소신 최고 인도 소신 최고데 주진 소신 최고 전에 맞아야 돼. 인종 최고 지게 되어래. 다른 소신 최고 인자 소신 최고 전에 지게 요나. 최고의 전에죠. 최고 전에 제발라 최발라 상야게 나셔리 표야게 나셔리 전에죠. 대 진실로 발라 랑하이 가제 맞아야나. 아니 전에 요거 말이. 랑 타메 바체네 타메나 예세 도면 자산 계지 중지 제고야 되는지 되네서 랑 계지 중지 제 나셔 전럽제 처바 전럽제 쇼송어리 아마도 송고 말이 롱로드
so then the coming to the actual part of the practice, then in the root text what was told to the master by Tara herself, it doesn't include, there's no reference to the self-generation, into the deity, and as well as the blessing of the inner offering. But since there's the need to make offering to the field of merit, and then this has to be blessed, and this could only be done with the inner offering of the inner offering, and for that one cannot do the inner offering with oneself being in ordinary form. One has also to generate into the form of the deity in order to be able to bless the inner offering, and so that's why one has to arise into the form of the deity and then make the make the blessing of the inner offering.
Tande chöbe chela na shi chela ho li ya sa ta da she mo go chi. Ke ji zhong ji che lu de ta de wa la me ne ji thu mo yin ba de ta ba ting ge de ne la ma ma ri rang la tim ba yin sa la ma rang la tim ba go de la me thu de wa chim bi yi shi rang ge sim le tim ba yin sa rang ge sim da la me thu ni ne de chen chu gu lu chu be me ba che di ji ba sha de je wa jang 남의 뒤에 샤라이 공부대 매바가 정 대응안에 라시 라메 토다 이메 줘봐도 추궁하지 추시자.
So for the self generation in the form of the deity, that we have just completed the practice of Guru Yoga, and in that way that we our mind is completely integrated or united with that of the blissful wisdom mind of the Guru, and that is in the sense that we have purified all the impurities, like the negative imprints and everything is completely purified, and so we have remained in a state of Dhammakaya, and having purified all the ordinary substances in the body, like the flesh, blood, and skin, and so forth, everything is purified.
다들 동바대 ngane rase chugu ngaje yoba ti ngane rase chugu zonam o ngumbu chogam meseji tene je o ngumbu ji o jangu ji le ya churu songsa tela longu ngaje zo jisu joma longje zo ko de ngai sambache.
So thus having remained in the emptiness, meditation in emptiness then is symbolic of the state of Dhammakaya, and after that, out of the emptiness, we should think that there's one's self arising in the form of a green lump of light, the height of about 1 cubit, and for that one needs to take the pride of being in the Zambokakaya form of the deity.
그 정부 대야배 깨지게 랍산다가배 지선 좀 시지 차니 고도 정부 제 차로 용수조가 남사다 제바 배 깨지게 삼대가라배 깨지게 조송 삼바천 텔 주고 마제 송나 고송나 제 창조래 배치리 지린 체버진 지는 누구요래.
So after that this green lump of light instantly transforms into the complete form of the deity of Tara, with the 1 face and 2 arms, with all the ornaments, and so then in that way that one takes the pride of being in the manifest body of Buddha. So if one is precise in these 3 short transformations, that is special aspect of the practice of the generation stage.
나치 젤라다 쳬베 젤라 다제나 니코도 송요리 요리데 니젠다 송셰 나라 요마리 메야데 소신 쳬베 지단 텀버로 지문다 달리 내가 뭐지 대중국 쳬바 지단나시 쳬나 알리 소신 쳬장 초사사 신라 라마리 라바 메자 라마 지수주메 조지와 지기 소신 라마 쳬베 소신 나시시기 바이 베린 주시 So the lama lusan thong to chang sala lama ji zun zhe che ma de xin ji wo ri fa san xin me ba wo men jia so mo go che. So zhang lu de
so in the root text there's no reference to for the inner offering, blessing of the inner offering, and as well as the offering of the usual set of offerings like water and so forth. But in the sadhana, you find that it is in this order. Here, after the self-generation, you find the text for the blessing of the inner offering, and then after that, one has to invite the field of merit, and which is very much like the one that one visualizes in the Guru Puja, except the center figure is not Lama Tsongkhapa, but the center figure is the Tara, the green Tara, the deity, and without visualizing the milk lake and the wish-fulfilling tree. So otherwise it's exactly the same sort of field of merit has to be visualized.
Rani kichi jizun ruma sewa thuka tangi lu uzi chu seji yo ma re. Rani kichi jizun ruma sewa segi ina kechi chungchi tanda chigi yo re. Rani lamsa geji zomar sewa dan woze chugu yo dagi geji rungji tsari 대자를 깨지게 해야 돼 쇼스요. 라니 지점을 세워 도반다는 라니 당이 정글이 우세추.
So
다전 여바 나제리.
So as you find in the text of the sadhana, so when you recite the text of inviting the field of merit, you have to leave out the term instant, because that we have already transformed ourselves in the form of the deity. So therefore there's no need to use the word instantly arising oneself in the form of the deity, since one is already arisen in that form.
Lama da yin me jizu me la so la san ji de so yi guo jian zhang me si yu le. Lama da yin me be jizu ma su de de cuo xin ge zuo de gu yi nang ju jizu ma le. De lai mai mu le, lama jizu me na ba xian de jian de. Da ge lama nang ju nu de jizu ma da yin me be lama che ba le. Gu yi nang ju de lama che yu le. Lama yin ba de ge ma ka san de. De jizu ma da yin me ba. Mo jie yong ju zhe ma se. 자 다리 지점마다 니스메베 라마 도나 양이 라마도 지점만 지버레디 라마도 니스메베 지점에 나바체체 가산 지점마다 니스메베 라메 나바체도 체자 나바타데 인사 제어레
So
라마도 니스메베 지점에 가서라 산janso 소고 제장스 라마 집에 초신 나시 조지점 라마 지점 좀 힘바치 도스 너 차삼데 갈라 체자.
So this time that when you invite to the field of marriage, then in the center is the deity Tara, which is inseparable from one's guru. And before in the practice of Guru Yoga, you have visualized the one's guru, which is inseparable from the deity Tara. So otherwise it refers to the inseparable nature of both guru and the deity. So this time that when you invite the field of merit, then the Tara, who is inseparable from one's guru, is surrounded by Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So whole assembly has to be invited.
Tad sajongine duba yela dumari. Yela dumasine du namdari ta. Du nada suru cha che wada choba shaba jisuyerang ngowa simje jamru. 중국 거다 양엘면도 소다 바지 뭐 매바체 신지 적으로 신지 소는 뉴나다셔야 돼. 너무 차서도 건거지 기진이야 저 라마 노지제 배라도 다그 새로운 루벨라 두 선지고 뭐장시지 자니고 용지 의변나라 차서로 라마라 차세 예담도 차세 두스리.
So after that, after inviting the field of merit, then one has to practice the seven limbs, or the seven perfected acts. And this start in this process. First you do the prostration, and then the offering, and then the confession, and then instead of two type of request, one for long life and other for turning of the well of Dharma, you include the taking of the refuge and the generation of bodhicitta, and then followed by the dedication, rejoicing dedication. So these are the seven limbs. So when you recite the first two verses, then you are offering prostration to your guru, and with second verse you are offering prostration to the deity.
다 라마를 차서 관계되지 얘기냐 저 라마를 좀 도이치를 다바리 시든데 버져들 이 고지 말어 봐대 나라서 깨버 점에 송그 초사는 산제 공부 주고야 도를 뭐 쉬어들래 깨버 점에 송 받들이 깨버 점에 직 점에 받들이 깨버지 받들이 깨 버게치레베 로그츠야 요마다 요를 뭐 쉬어지 뭐고 요래 라메 가진을 때는 니들 세통치래 산제 루토에서 깨지지를 루토야 되지요래 됐으래 컨비트지 되게 저 라마를 신다 라마 이 리즘을 무치 옮기고 답을 고 쓰데 리젠다고 도지진 셰베 도지진 도이창을 라마 도이창 비셔 차셀로스 되게 라마 태무자 누기차 칸는 너버됐다 나기샤 생기 대바시 이지차리 다다기 새로운 다티 송게 손에 손다. So
the meaning of the first the verse that you recite here to offer prostration to your guru include the meaning is that when one is, for example, when one wants to attain full enlightenment of Buddha, then it's said that one needs to accumulate merit for 3 countless aeons. And then even if one has to accumulate merit for 1 aeon, it is a very long period of time. And if one has to still accumulate merit only for 1 intermediate period or kalpa, it is still very long. It's very still long period of time. But then putting all of this sort of time calculation aside, if one can attain enlightenment in this short lifespan through the kindness of one's guru, so he is like the wish-fulfilling tree, wish-fulfilling gem or the jewel, and to the vajra holder of one's guru, that one is offering prostrations and with folded hand. So with folded hand, then one is offering the physical prostrations and reciting the verse with melody, that one is offering the prostration through one's speech, and with full dedication and devotion one is offering the mental prostration. And then with the next verse, where you offer prostration to the deity, it says that the practice of Tara is something that we have not just started in this life, but something that we had long studied from previous lifetimes. Because that one sign, just one sign or indication of that we had already done this practice of Tara in the past previous lifetimes, is that we had accumulated merit, and because of that we had obtained this fully endowed human form. Otherwise, if we had not accumulated those merits, then we would never have obtained this valuable human form. So when we accumulate merit, then that means the accumulation of merit happens only through the ripening of Buddha's activities. So actually the different activities of the Buddha then has come to oneself through the kindness of the wisdom body of a Buddha, and so because of that one has obtained this full endowed human form that comes from the practice of Tara from the previous lifetimes. And when we speak of Tara, then it is something that which cannot be compared to other different aspects of Buddha, and everybody sort of then already have certain link or relation with this deity from previous lifetimes. Same time the Tara is the one who sort of carries on the activities of the Buddhas of the 3 times.
Mama get the Chukang number Tavari. No Jang Gu Gama the Mekam number Tavari. Changsha Druma the Longkang number Tavari. Tayama Susum Go. Druma the Longkang number Tavari. Longkang number Tavari is a long day, Koya Zawayare, Tabe Zawayare, Yataba Tobaya Longler Haliber, Makwan Koju Long Re. Saison Kolong George, Tanjatuma, say Chaja Chisana. Yandu Samalogbe, Kangal Longler Hale Deva Yinza. Kunde Niga Zawadi Indu, and Jizu Longkang number Tava Yinza, where Sanjay Sai Pagbe, Chile Samal Zekandi, where Chile Rangin Senemedo, Okure, Jana Chile, Nuru Yate, Longkang number Tava Yinza.
So we speak of the four concepts of the Buddhists. So the first one is the Lochana, which is the symbol of the perfection of the earth element, and then we speak of Mamaki, which is Mamaki is the symbol of the perfection of water element, and then we speak of Pandara, which is the perfection or a symbol of the perfection of the fire element, and then the Tara, and the Tara is a symbol of the perfection of the wind element, because the wind element is the very base of the existence and as well as the liberation. And since Tara stands as a perfection, as a sign of perfection of the wind element, and so therefore it's very easy to flow all the activities of the Buddhas through this aspect of the deity.
Nyarishima Nyo Shiwas, the Hajang Besh, Shishin Zumba Dangjen, the Trunyan General Zani member, Shiva Kuli, Kui Namjuri, Konjachi Chani Nyajima, Yong Jurus to do so, Sanja Tamjiga Yongimba, Sanja Tajibe, Jizundramagi Yong Jenning around Sinjibi, the Yonaje, Mabucha Chagua Marita, Sanja Taji Jizundramali Kiva Yiluti, Sanja Taja, the Jizundram. Such a long dream the Jiwa is a Gyosa Sanje word. Gyosa changes Jizundrum Chile. Jizan Gangolo Jizundrum Chile, then Jiwa Indu, Sanje Tamjig Yongre. Yongju Uber knowledge has a lodge, Chasan Ubalandam.
So, then in the verse, in the same verse that we recite, it describes the color of the body of the deity, which is the green, with one face and two arms, and with very peaceful expressions. There's not a slightest sign of wrathfulness. It's completely tranquil and peaceful, and is the mother of all the Buddhas of the three times, and all the Buddhas are generated from this very mother of the deity, mother deity. And because when the Buddhas get fully enlightened, then they have to proceed on the 10 bhumis or the 10 grounds of the Bodhisattva stage, and also having to proceed through 5 stages. And all of this, the procedure is made possible through accumulation of merit, and which is only possible with the activity of the Tara. And so therefore she is the very source, the very creator or the very mother of all the Buddhas of the three times.
She is so Chasaway and Latte, Kosumosoni, Chitin to Chidung Dover, Luigi Lava, Cha Lava, Lava Sung, Tamujo, Zamda, Gondula, Ranga Lu, Tom, Maparato, Lu, Tamji Salavo, Chacha, Nova, the Luigi Chat, young Hani Juba, Nimanga Chat, each children the Tembe, Demucha, and each Chago, the name Umunguru others, she is so Chebe and Latte, Ranga Niga de Lonso, Payunda. Long to pay the David Chebel on Tommy to the Chuni, Romuta Java Pue, Susuru Dagri, the Tujula, the Wachama chip, Ishevichin Trumor Sam Tene, Yella Tamanga Java, Name Halu, Judonada, Junsha, Sotraba, Conjusula, Daji, Shiba, and the Sanji Rubo Show Jiba Party, Yella Tamanga, and the Jasuru, and the Divasha, and the Junior, and good source of Yella, Chashi, Sinzo, Yella. Moya Semeshi Gumba Dukaru, she the Recha and the Ruvichaba, the Sujina Gigi, to the Rang Mizani, Timbe Juji, over some months, other Soshin Chubati. There is other Chatseva Tindison, Chatsel Lavan Temuja. Maybe La Shidu Yamilu Chatsel Senager, Rangalu Chang Mavashim, 동송 지ranjang 신기 두 참문예 그 장다 냠바 주네 차세가 여상바 좋나 디지기 배 편이 전부 저요 다 처바에라 되라 호몽고로 아이들 사바리오라 아간 바디 비베스체 춘이 예정아 로마다 제법이 구루 아야다리스든 구루니 라마리 아야다리네 아리야 파마리 아야 파바리 다른 좀 파바 주어리 다리스도 주마리 제는 주마체 모다자자 파마서 그래 구루 라마 파마 주어서 그래 사바리오르서 코다 제버리 아감세야드 최베 미리 최여리 버드 아가제부다 샤데바가 최베니 주마 로마다 제법이 So
so after the first limb of offering prostration, then the second limb is to make offerings, the usual offerings. And so when you offer the prostration, if it's possible that one can visualize one's body in countless forms, like the quantity of the atoms of the three great universe, and such a countless numbers, then it is very effective way to offer prostrations. And after that, for the offering, then one has to recite the mantra which is to make the offerings. And so this mantra is quite easy to understand. First one is on Guru, and Guru is one's Guru, and then Arya is the superior, and Tara is the deity, and then Saparivar means with all the entourage, and then after that it contains the name of those offering substances, and one has to make this usual set of offerings.
So
after so you have to make offering through creating the offering goddesses, and such as the space full of offering goddesses making offerings to the field of merit. So after offering is made, you should think that has generated a very very strong sort of bliss in that state of mind, and which is also united with the understanding of the emptiness. So that is the true offering. And then from the 7 limbs, the first 2 are complete, the prostration and the offerings, and then after that the third one is taking refuge and the 3 jewels. And then the next limb is the confession. And then the next limb is rejoicing in the virtues of oneself and others. And then the next limb is to hold or to keep firmly the generation of bodhicitta. And actually, at this point, the 6 limbs are complete except the dedication, but still there are just few lines, and it refers to the generation of bodhicitta, since it is very important. So one can say that the first line here refers to the aspirational altruistic, the mind generation, and the second one is to the practical generation of the practical altruistic mind of enlightenment.
ne karisere o chanchi chugu sin chi sin ta da ne chanchi yo jeba je sa de lam la ta ba dam ja ne chanchi pe cho do sim che ne ane ranga de ge me kale ja ne be sin san je ge da du be thoya be ta la chanchi sim be jeba je ge paru chema du da do ngo bi la chanchi sim be jeba hoda ba da je ge yin si che ne jeba la ho ba dam je ba.
So the next two lines contains the kind of promise or the vow that one will not sort of remain idle, but will make effort to engage in various activities of the bodhisattvas, such as the 6 paramitas and the 4 means to collect disciples and so forth. One will engage in all of those possible bodhisattva activities. And then the last the line is contains the 7th limb, that is the dedicating all the collected merits and virtues for attaining enlightenment. And then after the 7 limbs, then one has to do the meditation on 4 immeasurable factors, and this is the measurable, the love and the compassion and the joy and equanimity. So actually, if one would engage in those meditations on 4 immeasurable points, then that would be actually the best, the most excellent offering that one can offer.
Le digin debu jiwa chima jebe bolu jiya ina, ane le de sa sa na basha che de gari. Shiga laga la le de le su da go, le de ya su go. Shiga laga la ya se len seba sung sha, se jeba seba guba lemba, nigi su da ne juba seba nuba tujin nu du le de ya su yo. Tene shi pyo ne de debu jiwa chima jebe bolu jiya de yong yo.
So the reason that why one has to accumulate merits and wisdom is that suppose that one would like to take the rebirth as a prince of a king, then for that one has to as a cause that one has to accumulate a lot of merits, and especially from the side of the ethical discipline, and accumulate merit and leaving a lot of imprint in one's stream of consciousness, and then those at the time of death should be activated through these 3 points, this existence and the craving and so forth. And then after that, then it will make it possible to take the rebirth as a king, as the son of a king.
Pashiga lagala su tabne seleni su tabe tsero de chewa chugu langche de gong. Chewa chugu langche wola ane juma su tabne chise nga ba badu de jebe bulu chia badu chugu na je longu langche de gong. Badu de ane jebe bulu che ne mai nga de shu ne chewa lengu na je badu longu langche gong so longu de ba chewa chugu langche ngo janga ye go ne. choba sonje inda, ngoja ngaje inda, jizu rime kote je yuwa, zhugu lang che do. Tanda ya ni jishi badu su la, nama tunga go ne, an jishi badu su jangwa re. Te je ringi chasa, je ringi nyembo, yodo medo tere, te ma shen ni je ringi gongwe tanda yo ma re. Te taba rishi chewa da badu ka na jaya shegi yo re, an te da nama tunga gongwe zhuje dewa shegi yo re, yaza tarin te jewa shelong mendo, haku go re ya. 너 되는 데 아마진 뒤에 비셔도 또 매일 깨져 지쳐 그래 봐디 저기 요 말이.
So So one has to accumulate a lot of merit, and then accumulate merit through the 7 limbs and through the 7 active perfections, and then that will be activated at the time of the practice of the transformation of the death into Dharmakaya. And then after that, as soon as that is complete, then it will enter into the next state, that is the state of the Pardo, and then that is the second transformation of the Pardo state into that of the Sambhogakaya. And then after that, the conception, the conceiving of oneself in the womb of one's mother, and to take a solid rebirth, and then that takes place through the 5 manifest enlightenment, and then finally it goes through the transformation of oneself into the transformation of the birth into the state of the Nirmanakaya form. And so these 3 transformations are the very essence, the very essence of the practice of the generation stage. And His Holiness will not go into detail this time because it's already explained many times.
lamchir sumbu de jeji badu su ma jeji badu su number 2 ya sanje ko su number 2 jonje ge lango ji de zoring ge jeji badu su da ko su lamchir tere zoring ge ko su lamchir jo le je wala jiring ge ko su lamchir de no ba ye je ge be goya de ho to ma ro zoring je ya ge thab yo ma re.
So actually one should know these 3 bases which are to be transformed, namely the base of purification and the part that purifies those bases and the result of those purifications. There must be certain agreement and certain concordance between those bases and the part that purifies them and the type of result that one attains with respect to these 3 transformations. And so in order to bring about the actual transformations of the completion stage, then one must have already gone through the 3 transformations of the generation stage.
Ta phecheri kanga shendo kawiyo jendi kale khasa chi imba nela chewa da namba thamba gumba tela soba tenju sachu melong su timrin tu gongu guiwa ada dinge shero chi guyo de jebu she gongu mar da phecheri gongwe gongdio gonzo kanga gong jangdi yo ta phecheri.
So actually this is quite the difficult point, but since it's already explained many times, and so when you recite this mantra on the emptiness, the meditation of emptiness, one has to think of the process of dissolution, such like the different elements like earth, water, fire, and wind, and so forth, dissolving into one another.
Chewata number 10 chugu lanche gumba chevala ta ali choshin ran su tin sarchi ju chinjila ta on su ba du sawada mo su ba sho do hans jane sal tongre su ba sho do su ba su du ni ranjin re sho do na ta bare su ba sho do sawana thamje damani chu tanje ranjin je number ta ba che yang su ba su number ta ba ni bat che.
So here So here before you come to meditate on emptiness, that you have to absorb the field of merit into your body, and then after that you recite this mantra, which is the mantra to meditate on emptiness, and in the sense that you take the pride of being the nature of the purity, that all the phenomena not having any true or independent existence from their own side.
Rita di Londe Way Miro. Nieba Chivata Navatembe, Chulanchi, Gonivici, so Savane, Darle, Savata Navatembe, Sunai, so Sabe, Odo, Chivata Navateme, Chulanchi, Gomani, Shendo, Drilo, Deya Chewa, Chugo, Lamchi, Gombe, Murudo, Janji, Janji, so much over Jenny Gombale, Moji, Janji, Jon, so Landu, Jivangaji, Mejawa, Dedi Chugura, Chugoni, Jawo, Dene, Simja, Domejina, Wada Mizibi. Niji Shuda, Daga, Tanto, Nina Rala, Jima Pame, Ishijo to Jede, Dele, Longo, Dele, Longo, Drugo, De Cosun, Gomo to Javana, Pamba, Tang, Sugar, Lanche, Lanjogo, Jogo, De Ansonle, Soba Hard, Judgment, Judan, Jiba, Majo, about the Gonshi, Sombe, Shebetend, Jerin Jago, and the Tony, Junishi, Mever, and Hajo, Gomba Zang, Shig, Kuzawa, Danzilla. Neje de Mejube, Jerinji Kasa, Sani, Niboning, Nibotonia, La Trania, Zona, Larashawashi, Nimortonia, La Niba Shuda, John de Veraji, maybe the Damashu and Anya, Nomor Layocolo said, Devate, the Daralogic and Order. So say, Sabatonia, La Mivatan Jacho, Layocolo, Namachavani, Chicto, Sobala, Labo, Tenio, Sazini, Tam, Tashi, Meji, Dojitebe. Jadun Jiang so de Jiri Tiban de Passion Tivada Mero, Logi, Ding, Suna, Sonika, Soba, Sobe, Chugu, Chuzuni, Judo, Yuban, Chechu, Tomoma, Yela, Jira, Jiri, Jigo, and the Shimatavat, and the Daraguba, Neje, Tomuino. The Daramember, Donia, some Nibaji, Donia, some Nibaji, Member, and Hata, or Nerju, Jangme to Jenny, did a Tarji about Summer Lunja, then a Jerry Jamo, which Jiva Tame, Tanji, so the Tanjela Parnerji to Juju Tasho, Tamijin Tanji, Nani, Che, Nani, Chi, Tachi, Nerju, Monson to Eugene to Meva Gombe, Cheda Mezeba, la Toda Summer Lumba. Then I did a Jaguan Suba, Hardware Jenny, Email, and Shuta Jambe, Nangmanina, Nina, Rinji, Dune, Doni, Juba, and Juba, they shed, General Omni Hajamode, Soba, Rajan, Shuda, near Tabadi Meba, Savadaman, Tamje, Yansoba, Shuda, Raji, Tabadi, Raji, Meba, Shodo Hongshi, Shuda Ahongshi, Pani, and Shebe. Paje Namje Ti, Yangje Mali, Ali, Yangje Mali, Ali Ala O, Shibi Namja Namje Urjuru, Ula O, Shibi, Shodaye Sogi, Adam, Namje Juju, O, Dubali, and Dubali Urjuru, Ojida, Oji, Iji Uta, Natalia, Ata O, Shibi, Atas Jumever, Eos, Dandilla, Halendari Yongegi, Yigi Coinbody, Laven to Yomar, Hanala. Shebe, Ahamge Achi, Young Remubebe, Bebe, Trilapoda, O Shebe, Achi Shudo, Young Remubebe, Dondo, Puta Yigi, Nyanditara Tribos, the Yigi Yadin Midaya Yomar, Yakamo Chochiore, Tribo, and the Ahamge. Shodo Sajar Javaisa, Soba Shodo Sadon, Soba Shodo Hangas, Mil Yigisungu, which Tango Yori. Shodo Shiva Troje. Teder Achibit Semo Podaran Juju, Ahan Ning, Ao Shiva de Shutaji Meba, Maya Raji, maybe Daniel, Ao Shi Raji Dube, Mala Soba Kazata, Raji Meba, the Kazaki Dame, the Kazama Imichu, Tamji Raji Meba, Chu Dame, the Raji Meluja, Shuta Kaza, Tamji Rajo Batara, Rangi, Soba Samji, the Suruba Maiba, Daji Soba Latin, Shuta Kaza, Teda, Lu, Partaba Samji, Tanya Chamudini, Shuta Kaza, Teda, Ted Jola. Shuda Kaza Toba Partachi, Tayu, some member, Rangi Daji, Soba Muni, Soro, Troba, no, and it is shame in Mariba, Danzeta, T. Shayune, Gajada, Chamu Yimbe, Yotoni, Lever, Mosunde, T. Yume, Ome Rive, Nanju, and Shepherd, the Chi to Regi Rivata, Tenrich, Tensila, Ten, Lever, Tapi, Tenda, Ranchin, Tanya to a Maver, Lever, Della Peba, now, Tenda, Kunyu, Cheverche, Nibatini, there is Soba, Soji, Si, Yumu. Nishin Deber Cheva imitated no Balam Hodo Luru, Sanjay Jantan, the Jolu, Jangolama Chuja, Zunga Chimbu, Lebershe, Seva Zebeli, Lana Meba, Samgunji, Newa Shidu, Che, the Pudachi, Davala Condi, Leberja, Chawashi Gubo, Gube, Hodo Tidabal and Jawo, Tidabitawa Leber, Nijim, Changway, Tawate Gumba Sanji, Chewachulan, Chetu Meju, Tizanshi, Parsin Tivinaja, Ishila, Yube, Najisone. 마템베소 오늘 하지서는 노루치들 양냐나 유도바니의 노루에서 유로존리 파신티베 고스치들 땡라 포바리 차바 자르 매베 유진중원의 서전 연구대 파신티베 냐자 이시 제다르 차양 로랑가베 돈이 개발이 매지 늘 조심 되와치모 이시 모르지네 대 돈이 유도 제바네 파신티베 냐자 참을리제 치 참을 조진 라버베 세 타르도기 고소 뇽신 참모도 제네 디에 디베 모르지데 대동의 유도 제바는 시신도 차베도 이티베 대동 유수지 선내 제버진 이노 대다기 원진다 대다라 제베 추소 시진 차바는 장고라모 송와쇼 예시 일레제 코나레 제도 주자야메다모 대다그 수중지 다동 오도 조리지 고소 제바 조로 대다베 뇽신모도 모도 마제장 조선 대외 모르지 대대 돈이 예배되는 거 이신고수 제버자 제바 제린지미 제리미신경가 실례 이제도 조리지 거래 menjo야 뭐가 이제 공부하는 제리지 거소안에 대 작고를 대요 조급들 공부하니 이노 공부를 자와니 이노 오늘 대답에 대동 저와 장신들이 저 주고랑시던 요라냐도 대양하 라메진 동 돈이 공수지서는 상영 저 주고랑시던 요원이 대딩도 다동 대딩도 대답에 동 대동 니 다지르체네 tel라 대두지 주공을 가오냐도 가제주고 그소 대나 저 주고랑 실친이 상와라니 당초 동상 명을 라제 매바 나와 동상 명을 라제 매바 유제되와 전부 이시 주고 가제의 제주 지내시 그소 나와 동상 지르 명을 라제지 라제 동면 제가 쇼자는 동원이 나야 렌진가바 벌써 매랑소 소베냐자 이시진 모르고도 나와도 버셔는 어장 내니 나와가바 장지 미쇼버를 질람다 나바 튼신 롱타지 니가 미시비 니가 팀에 조린 섬에 메제 쳬버제도 요바시 그바 임베 제시게 드린다 자도 동머른 주바시 니버 그바 이노 대다라가 왜냐라 고아지니 다니 고데 니보 제와 노르드 셰버자데 대한 소바와네 동마니도 주르지비 바르 쮸네 초고 오마 맨넘버 바른데 추고랑제 내내도 공부를 자고 배에서 단지 쉐바디 시라셰데는 고그리 치니세 다전도 두전이지 쓰게 돼서 하고 그래 돈이 되어 고아야 우지 마샤는 거야요 말이 돈이 많은 마고 해서 그래서 그 제고래서는 알리 내가 지기진라 수수 고서 지금 동바세하게 저질을 구매 동바세야 돼 나도 그래 로를 차서 상도나 내가 지금 거쳐 버려 저래디 배팀이 제주요 말이야. 선난 동반이 그 과도 제거래. 답변은 자살이요. 초시 시험생에 본부지 온침부요래. 그 고용래 요래. 고용래고 사자 정말 쉽지 고고요래. 사자 구라도 사자 강을 수수다 서리다도 개지 같이 못 당는 고리고래. 더 조버지 요이는 차고동 그래. 당 초시 시험원에게 저 고용래요. 사자 조버 자주 말아는 대강데 탈라지 거네. 사지바 거지 대공 같이 이런 동샤다 아니 그 리그말 공무시 매바 자고 말하지 뭐요래 내가 나je 동반이 야고 요마도 내 소바을 해도 배 탐제 동반이 이 삼바더질 배 공네 알리 드레지 전에 그 추고요 내가 장시 신의 평소 소바지 매는 신의 타이도 사지 소바 자고 삼배 쥐어마치 지기네 내가 그 추고요 장시생 주마대 군의 롱디 대산디 토르베 시야 타지거든 산지 고고지 전주면 고고 토버시 제국에서 토만 고노 대주 된 쳐주고 본다 거리에 되래 알리 시드그베 정시 들이 롱 티리 수다 배 하고지 대단 터바르지 공주래 공가 거기 지지가 들이는 자 손요래 된들 지지가 들이 세부시다라요 말 되르지래 그래 인자 소바시도 사도 소신랑라팀 사소는 소바시도 사도 소시도 동바니도 주르스 아니 가바데는 라지 전도마 세바데 너저 강가 랑라팀 라지 전주마서 도가 땀이 지식이 들이면이 아니 너저 소도 랑티 대지라 안 랑라서와디 대 지식이 들인죠 들이니요 렌제다 지식이니요 다들 셰주마 우체신 콘도 많이 생각을 그죠 그런서 들어오지는 기식이 심하래 그샤다고 그거요래 저한테 지금 말해 기식 가봐야 셰로에 지금 해보자 배통으로 지 공제돼 그것이 공제돼 배치 잘라듯이 캐르네 개스냐면다 니부터 마치 캐르네 개스서 말해 레세베 무슨 쇼게들이 제용 니만 샤자라 고친주 대주 정하지냐는 루루 또도 지제도 자오 총호는 지 캐르네 개스하면도 상상의 제용 뒤스로 지래 베베 공다 집어 공대면은 야남 생애가 마셔내 또 중요해. 지खे기가 마지네 중요해. 개체하고 뒤죠. 다른 내가 뒤셔주면 쇼쇼. 당에 셔야지만 내 러윈 그쇼런 게 비즈 러쇼아. 수바시도 사바도만 수바시도 한 동반에도 저를 사는 살동스.
So after the reciting this mantra on the meditation of emptiness, here is the time that one has to meditate on emptiness. So first we have to send out rays of light from the green syllable thumb in one's heart, then going out a lot of rays of light.
오제파 준 수수 건강을 보고 찌바다 배도 건강로 배워디 뭐 장고 뭐로 대화 심으라 연을 줄 대바지 라와 관심 자물린 차이자르 동송 나게 타져도 준도 배 첼레여베 너주 정말 다너 정말로 다베신 저기 생전 무슨 선시 로르고 신전 탐제를 보는 건강로 지선을 걸을 줄 대바장.
So actually, this rays of light, then going out and then transforming everything that this strikes. For example, the house and then the wall and then all the mountains and the whole country and all the environment, and then even further, the great universe will be transformed into the pure, the divine mandala of the deity. And all the sentient beings in those realms of life will be transformed in the form of the deity.
Then so do it. No, Tajibe Tabeshin, Tabal Jurjava, so Jew, Sinjin Ruma, Chapchi Jen and degree. The Jew, the Tim, the Jew, Rantin and degree. Kandari, Manhajin, Jidin, Yosu Madaba, Jamne, so Ranlatim, Pushi, Dulambana, so Ranlatim, Jizun Tim.
So after this transformation, then you have to collect them back into your body, and this could be done in two different ways. The first one is that the residence or the container can be absorbed into the contained, and then that will be absorbed into one's body, or at the same time that all the container and contained simultaneously can be absorbed into one's body. So there are two possible ways. So when you collect them back into your body, you should think that the earth element is dissolved into the water element. And you should think that you are seeing this mirage. So after that, that your outer body is the deity also then start to absorb from the head below, from the head downward, and then from the feet upward. So it will be absorbed into the central, the green syllable thumb. At that time, at that time that the earth element is dissolved into the fire element, and so thus the earth element then does not have any powers, any functions to play. And at that time the inner sign is that you are seeing the smoke, the coming of a smoke.
Tā tūke tāngwī ki wōke āshūng jī yōre, āshūng tiyā tāli yā tīng sōng sāmbache. Tē tīng bē kūdī mē lōng lā tīng sōng sāmbache. Tē tē rāngi sīm lā mē lōng lā tīng bē tā tī lā khānām mē chīr kī nā wā mā chū jayā jī shā chūng sā. Tsā rā bū kāmbū mā bū jī mē lā sā tē dō tōr tōng nā wō nā lā mā chū jī kūrē. Tē yī sū rō jī mā chū jayā jī shā sū sāmbache.
So after these, this little r under the syllable tam will be absorbed into the body of the syllable ta. So at that point the fire element is dissolved into the wind element, and you should think that you are seeing these inner signs like the fireflies.
Tā tāgī āchūng yō mā rī, tāgī zūgūng gōgū tī tāng kē rū chē, gō chē chē tī yō rī. Tā tāgī lū tī tāng kē nyū bū tī tāgī lū rī. Tī yā ngō chē chē tī lī yā tīm rāngī lū rī bā tā chē lū tōng tsā rī tāgā yō mā rā rāngī lū tā yī tī tāgī lū tī tā ngō tī lī yā tīm bē gu tī āni lō nām shī lā tīm bē gu tsū sōng sāmbā chē.
So after that the body of the syllable ta will be absorbed into the head of the syllable tam. So at that point you should think that the wind element is dissolved into the element of consciousness.
Mami sevu ji parjabe zuru ji seding je ne guju dong je me ba ji la sevu tong sevu be ya hu ji mo ba se ne tong be mami sevu ji kangwe na ba jabe zuru ji mami na wo ji sha jung sa.
So at that point you should think that you are like finding yourself in a fully illuminated hall room.
Tā tāng ge ngō chē chē tī gōng ge dā sē tī lā yā tīm. Tāng ge ngō dā sē lā tīm bē nā wā kālam bā shā jū ngō sā bā chē.
So after that the head of the syllable ta then absorbs into the crescent moon. So at that point you should think that you are experiencing the white appearance.
Tā ge sā bē rāng sē jizū dū mē tōgā dō wē zē pā chū nē chū dō yōng dū nē dēwā chīmbū sāng tōng tsā rī rwa dēwā wē zē dēwā chīmbū rāng shēng wē zē pā chū tōng bā nyē gōng tsā rwa sō bā wā chū dō sā dō mā sā gōng tsā rī dē nyē mā jī bā chī dē dōng dēwā chē rū tōng bā chē rū dē dōng shū chē rū tōng tān bā dō tā ngō yā chā nā nō wā kā lōng bā shā wā dō dē dōng chē rū tōng lē lā jī sāng jē thām jē jī kū dō jī tō chū ngō sā mā chī gō rī.
So he only says that even before that, when we have sent out those rays of light, we are already concentrated on the blissful state of mind. And so when you come to this stage, that each time that we should never sort of put it aside, concentrating on this union of great bliss and voidness. And so at this particular state of white appearance, you should think that you have obtained the Vajra body of the Buddhas.
Tanda sete ati tingi teli riri tila tim gogo chi ordang gogo de gungdo le riri kodung re tribe kodi gogo ma diwa kodung trishing marwa tele ya timbe kodi ane cheba malamba sha malang chi sha chung samba che sanje tanji songdo ju to chung samba dilong shu chimbu che gong.
And after that this crescent moon then will be dissolved into the circle, into this tigle on top, and which is sort of empty inside. And at that point we should think that we have attained the speech Vajra of the Buddhas, and we should think that we have even greater and even stronger the experience of great bliss and voidness.
Tan nanda de tele de dandal ting nanda tele tsele ya pabu chi pajo sujo sung yore tele de nanda le ting bada na thom de gal ru so pena na go me ru ru de la shama la puja se sha na na go de jen da me na go thu bu ji yo da ane dan de na che je sen do thong ka ru me ru ru de la se go de la ma ma thu bu yo da ga na ji ge na thom ji be na bu ji sha su so ma che.
So after that, this circle, this thickly, will be dissolved into the Nanda on top with three curves. So at that point, we should think that you are experiencing the black appearance. It is a very very thick darkness, sort of a dark appearance, like when it becomes dark without any light or lamp. So in such you should think in such a way, sort of being engulfed in a very great darkness. And then a certain point that even that one should think that one has sort of become quite unconscious of in what state that one is. And at that point you should think that you have attained the mind vajra, of the Buddhas. So after that, this a little, the subtle nanda also completely disappears, and at the same time this sense of the darkness or the blackness also completely disappear from one state of mind, and one has only the sense of being emptiness.
Tata je se de otong jong de ane gabo meba ma na bo meba ma bo meba kama na sung no de pe de ne ta tong sa cha tong ba rang sha ne ta de de be se re de go la man zu shin de ge chwa we se ta chi go re ho de go la ne sang do ya de la rang ge sim chamo nyong si ta jo yo ma ro de yin be me ba che nyong si chamo yu de la东山上下，那呀就是东山农，牛就得了对牛，对起没一些牛，你呀得了去他家让人住个东北年一300多去，你是呗，在当地的话去送，他送不得了，让个陶家去个集中住面，头一些去过我那去过的一300去，我的才去是的的。
So after the 8 stages, then one enters into the state of the clear light. This is very much like the one that one experienced at the time of the death, the clear light of the death, and at that point the subtle consciousness will be activated to function. And at this point, that one should only think, only in the visualization, one should think that the subtle consciousness and the wind are actually an active function, and in this way that one should remain on the meditation. First is the empty appearance, and then the great bliss being the experience, and then understanding of the emptiness, not having any true existence, and then to this one should take the pride of being in the Dhammakaya state, the one that one is of the resultant stage of Dhammakaya. So one should remain in this meditation as long as possible, if possible even 1 hour on this meditation. So if one does have already some understanding of emptiness, then it's very good to remain on the meditation. But even if that one does not have any understanding, but if if one tries to meditate on emptiness, in the sense that one have certain understanding of the emptiness in terms of words, so that will also be sufficient for some time. So if one can meditate in this way, it is much more helpful than to achieve calm abiding of the mind. And because that through this meditation one can accumulate a lot of wisdom, so that will become a direct cause for attaining the state of Dharmakaya. And through the achieving calm abiding of the mind, so one cannot achieve anything, and that is even achieved by those who are not necessarily Buddhist.
Shine to sane latung to. Latung to sane sante jungoji to. Sante jungoji to sane ane sante tambe ngoji, nibe ngoji, sombe ngoji, jibe ngoji. Zome nakataye jeyamesa zome jiye ngoji sizi batun ro. Tatima to toya yo mari. Tinshe toga chiriba yo mari.
So after that, after one achieves the calm abiding of the mind, one attains the insight, and after that one can attain the various stages of concentration. One can finally even attain to the peak of the existence, and this is those who have achieved this kind of result are also to be found among those who are not Buddhist.
Chiriboge telabe sansu jungo jinchi tembe sansu de mashenba tereji to yundu taba to sonsa chuguyo tabar kuransuge.
So those who are not Buddhists, then when they attain to that particular state of the peak of existence, then they mistake these for liberation. They think they have achieved the liberation.
Tenezo kamta zoben kanda jewalendu gure taba to gure.
And then after that they take rebirth in either the form or formless realms.
Lodungda mamula sanju tenju meba ve tsoyo jowa ngani dewa meba tangyung korangi nala de ne ni kubaru che ne de tsinzo yungure. Tsinzo ni shirengu de simgo de chu yungure. Ngodu chu yungure jewa shima gaba jibi imba shen yungure. Ya chi sa yo mara ta. Mara gobe sante jinti ngoji de budu zoba iza ta ma yungure. Depe nala yungure. Te pechiri nga sondan rukure. Nga sondan mandu de milu richi lengu yonenda, lalu lengu yonenda, chiwa chi lenju imba de tong yungwa daga hale sam. Ta taba to sondu taba la yiden mendo, taba ke lu jungu samba chengu di chubungi le sa shabari. Mindra hari chi chiro yone, chubungi le diki chen chen nyawadan rukure.
So what happens is that so those who attain in that state then would usually sort of remain for thousands of years in that state, the state of the state of equanimity of the mind. It is like like being engaged, like being in a very deep sleep, and then finally, when they have to die or to pass away from that life, then at the last moment, their mind is activated, and then they would know that where they are going to take a rebirth. And often they sort of fall into the lower realms of life, like in the desired realm or even in the bad migrations with very heavy sufferings. And then they think that although they have achieved the liberation, but that has sort of betrayed them, so they think that even the liberation is very deceptive. And through this they generate a lot of negative thoughts about the liberation, and through this then they accumulate a lot of negative imprints in relation to the Dharma. So then through the accumulation of this unwholesome imprint, they will be sent direct into the bad migrations with a lot of sufferings.
Shinel Hatonda Paser Sandeng Nerdori, Sandengojimari, Tesane Angoji Tone, Sitzbaton Ruyone, Tenia Lengri, Ania, Dume Anjunia and Malone, where 7 Codigres or Church Dembe Jenrua, Sitzmo, something Mojimato Chang. Dujimiri Zajanto, Sebatan and Dobrches, Sanje Dembe Jason Rukan Soge, Shin Hatung Niro, Sante Mojimato ne. Sit zume ngoji kuji paseja sante ji ngoji mato nyerdo shine da thong samla aden dame to na dame gong rugi na thong ge tenge dame gong so na nye tu ge jolan solan jolan tolan golan su de ne nye tu raju mato de kwali tu so nye tu raju to so re chaza choji dembe jinru ba sit ngoji na sante ngoji mato chang duji mire za jento Sebatanen doberche, duji mere zajen to se du garo un chu nga jel dene. Du garo un chu de jin chu un je ge dabore, ku nga mare manzo. Ku ma dabuje ku o ma ju de yore. Ku de de yo de ma. Ku sin je ziba no je che manzo be dabuje. Ta ku dabuje ge le ko le de ne da chung to lu sebal chun lu yore. Du ge mi ta gi la sebal no ro re je yore. Tendegi che yo inza ngarazu shene da lado toguda mare chirazu shene lo jagune shene rugu mare mato shene ruga jeba ine lado to sona nyetu da chung le ruya yore chachu simba je tewa chimba lalo rugu mare sanga le ru kawure chachu simba je nu sa meba tere sonza ma zube nambe chuba gangwa loge lavrin chi ne lavrin ki chuba jilo za samde jingo shene da Shiraj Gong Latoni La Shila getting as a Gonsu Zam Chiba Mado Magumba Che Shiraj Gong and the Tony Telebe Tony the Yabu Chin Tony the Ashen Tane Mado Gong Sheneda Tadon Pebe Gishisu Gong Majoya Jose Tere Manjuma Mare Zozo Chen Sandom Yokache Pansur Chen to Tojaku Chakaleja to Salmeva Zozo de Guru Redi de Gong Gomba Janju Saint Magone, Chanel Haton Ruyona, Tebachimulami, Tagala Rochi, Sama Patar Sutarje, and Niantu Janju Tosona, and Are Tebachimule Rindu Chone, Shiragi Dovichor. Tebachimula Churchon, Niantu Dajuma Tosona, Janjula Badu is, Tebachimur Sanga La Guata Sadunju, Yavanamen Honsone, Zobe Janjula Bashe Messon. Melo de Garas in your de Taione, young him a basha de Jubusanji or this one. Then to joining a CJ did a Raja on the Sheju Majumado, turn on the Sheva. Sheva Yidi in a Cherazogun Gabuchini Yori. Gon Karija the New Yoba Gongomendo. Kasha Gonja Insudu. Kargumba Sudu. And Shaga along the Gon de Visa. Tanda Kargun de Tanda Chamendu. Gon su love you love him and do Pesach Raj to Gombayis, Devjin al Lusa. Cousin in Rure. Devji Raj to Gondaways. Taku Devna the Karisha Jaya and the Chirubagiman, Namai Gimano, Tarisani Devna Rajabat in the Mamusune, Pesha the Zondek, Demamuzu can yori. Julia could go Henry Chindu Kunzula. In a sort of you should have him in Kunzo. Ah. Insuition a kindred gentleton. Lower than a tangin shirpe. Mema do you zoom at Hermedu. Jimato de Suyus on the summer. Trambushan and Pudu Nugar. The Veteran Shannon, Chedalo Nugar. Cover it.
Kagijor.
Tanda Tagitichi Jugine, your. Ah.
No, Tony. Gum just never jawed. Gum set anima, Konzo Gum Jaggers at anima. Konzo Kashi Gongi is sugar about the never jawed, anima jawed.
The Chiribagi Saiba.
No,
it's a bad. Season Mujitoni and your Shesaba. The dish. Divorva. Number Sanji was with Season Matone, Santa Mujimatone, and in yet to judge that to Nugoris. No, Chanel have on the ten.
So, Tilagine. So his Holiness says that those who are not a Buddhist and then to try to follow to achieve the various state of mind, like to achieve calm abiding of the mind and so forth, then they can attain to a very high state of concentrations and the very high states of formless realms, like to the peak of the existence, but it doesn't help them to finally then they again sort of fall back into lower realms of life and having to suffer again. And on the other hand, the Buddhists, when they try to achieve calm abiding of the mind, then somehow they manage to meditate on the basis of that calm abiding of the mind, and then attain the various stages like the accumulation, like the part of accumulation, part of preparation, and the part of the seeing, and so forth. So then finally they attain the state of an arhat. So that will completely save from falling into bad migrations with very heavy sufferings. So that is one particular quality of the Buddhists who follow this kind of path. And then His Honor said that he has met people who said they are engaged in the meditation, and then he's found out that they did not have any teacher who taught them meditation, but they simply learned how to meditate from the books. Just by reading from the books, they have learned how to meditate. So when we have achieved the calm abiding of the mind, then we should try to make use of it to achieve the understanding of the emptiness. So this will then make it possible for us to attain to the state of superior, the part of seeing. So after the part of the seeing is achieved, then one can finally also achieve the part of the arhat. And so in this way that one is fully liberated from this existence. Although that one is liberated from this existence, but then all the initiations, empowerments that one has received has been of no value. And all the meditations that one has done on the deity has been of no value, no fruit. And all the mantra recitations that one has done also have been of no value, no help. And all the retreat and the meditation that one has done also without any help. And the tantric practitioners are all the followers of the great vehicle. And when somebody attains to the state of an arhat, either that of the hearers or the solitary realizers, then in both cases they belong to the less vehicle. So actually those who have already attained the arhatship of the Sarvaka part or the Paticca Buddha part, then they take a long time to get full enlightened. And for example, then another person who follows from the very beginning the great vehicle. So, for example, that this person will take 10 times longer to get fully enlightened than a person who, from the very beginning, from the very start, then comes to the part of the bodhisattvas.
That is a Junzei Ada Kecha Shen Besevu, Shirashe, to Sotrolan do Covores, that in the Gazi Jati, Netuda Kamadon Star. So His Holiness will not be sort of speak too much on these Sarvakas. He will not speak badly of the Sarvakas and their part and so forth. And in former times that a person who had done a lot of the practice of Hey Vajra, so he finally ended up entering to the he became one of the stream enterers finally.
So when Atisha was in Tibet, and he used to ask for any kind of news from India. So then one of the visitors told him that one news is that a practitioner of Hey Vajra has become a stream enterer. And Atisha was quite surprised to hear that. He said it's good that he didn't go to the bad migration of great sufferings. And then somebody who was there then asked, then why did he, the one who had done the practice of hair vajra, then had to go to the bad migrations?
che dojo sanga lame re ko sanga lame ge nyane che ne juru to ru ko changshu sin me ba re changshu sin me ba la sanga ge nyane shita che ne ru se nyawa re ko mi jung ge sa ba da donye to be donye de ya go ji to yo yin ba re ba che zan juru to ba re ma do donye de ma do na nyawa ne ru re su re.
And then Atisha explained that since the practice itself of the hair vajra then belongs to the highest, the class of Tantra, Antara Yoga Tantra, but since he did not have the strong bodhicitta generation, so therefore only on the basis of his understanding of the emptiness, he became one of the stream enterers.
Also pöla ka chu she du ke jur go ma re ba she thi ma chi gre nyama nyen ze she gre da ri ze ba she sha gre lavrin son du shene da la dong shene gong chu sung gre shene gong chu su ma ma do ane jibun ring ge lang la shene da la dong ni yu sha chu jin sung ya de zo chi gre shela ma gong go ya de ka re se na cha ju sin ge chi za te ma je na shela go na te ba me wa le shu gre sam ne te yu bu yo.
So in Tibet it is only said that there's no need to do any translations of those teachings, and the teaching then will be given almost all day long, and sometimes it's given even for a month, continuously, and then very little will be taught on the subject of achieving the calm abiding of the mind. And the main emphasis is made on the generation of the bodhicitta and the methods for developing bodhicitta, because that if too much will be taught on the subject of the samatha, achieving the calm abiding of the mind, then it might induce a person to take a more interest in this direction, and thus ending up with a low vehicle.
마시 전전 전수 전에 대화 친구 잠니지 자주 신relone 자주 있으면 제소나 되네 신의 공내 공초그래 상하다 바슈이네 지린 공부 쇼를 신의 루용거를 라돈 루용거래 지린 다리 전소는 신라니가 루용거래 so
so what we do is that our procedure is that after that one has already certain the generation of the renunciation, then we try every possible method to generate the bodhicitta, and through many different possible ways, such as the 7 cause and effect training, and as well as the other possible trainings to achieve bodhicitta. And then after that we enter into the practice of Tantra. And then when you complete the generation, you automatically also achieve calm abiding of the mind as well as insight.
지린 퇴시랑 공의 신에 나의 공회지 있는 로지를 지린 템바 토고요. 지린 라발 템바 토소는 실라 고야요 말다. 리사르데.
So if one does the meditation on the generation stage precisely like doing 4 sessions a day, then he needs only about a year to develop the gross level of the generation stage, and for him there's no need to achieve calm abiding of the mind.
Teba chimbe la shoni shine da to ngara so gu ta chure. Ma do je ka sa sa shine da la to se chen ga to na teba member ku ya ge nyanga yo.
So those who are already the followers of the great vehicle, then there is the need for a calm abiding of the mind and insight. But if one does make too much effort too early, then there's always the danger that one might turn away from the great vehicle towards a lesser sort of vehicle.
Da li gari ne chu ge ne lu she ne ma bu she sa me ne ga ru she sa. She ni nye khen su ya bu shi ra re du ri sa bu. Be ka ne ne sa lo tong. So this one
says that he has already explained quite a lot from the Dharma, and also you have also paid a lot of attention in listening, and with great effort and with great patience.
Risun Chigini Chu the Yani Zad Meba. Sudan Cheshe, Chirubadan to the Chirubache. Nambadan to the Nambache. Pe level Habuche, Tasu Chia Meba. Name Nasu Chiridon Chia Delani. Ta Kayuya Yomari. Mayune to Chu Sheva the Trolari, those Shemirori. Sanga Shea the Nemere. Nemen de Leons Mapi Nishin window. Young Kui Bichon Sibri. Nadulumba Kui Bichon Sibri.
So his only says that he's not saying that all, but just some people that then would go here and would go there to receive a lot of teachings. Some are Buddhist and some are not necessarily Buddhist. So that's sort of then practicing kind of a mixture. So in this way, then the one is actually not proper to receive the teachings, especially the teachings of the Tantra, and in this way that one becomes improper sort of vessel to receive this profound teachings of Tantra. But then it will also be improper to say that you are not entitled to receive these teachings.
차자치모 공는 공사래 여마래 레디네 차자 공고이나 노루구 차자 공노 돈이 공고래 대공.
And also that since the interest is very great for the meditation, so that's why he's always had to teach the Mahamudra, even though that you are not yet on this level that where you can meditate on the Mahamudra. But if you are interested, you can at least meditate on the Mahamudra aspect of the sutra at least. And if it is possible to generate the proper understanding of the emptiness, it is very great. But even to get some doubts through one's analysis on the subject, the object of negation and so forth, such as like the grasping and so forth, also it is very helpful. Even to get doubt about it is also very beneficial. And Ayadeva had said in his 400 stanzas that those who even develop certain doubts with respect to shunyata will be able to cut the bondage of the existence.
Gongo mari, Kwaji cha ine, Jirin la temba, Jirin chamu la temba toba le, Sunju lu Kwacha bu penyu chao yu sun yori.
So since that you have already heard a lot of teachings on the two stages of the generation and the completion, and as well as the 5 stages of the completion stage, and it is said that if one develops certain understanding about the Yogananda, the state of union, that is even far better than to pass the subtle stage of generation.
Kwa chajuran the shari tekaze kabu ingmare. Ta gongu yo no gonga burwa gongo no ta tarin sheyage kusum lam cheti domu chiwa chugo lam cheti gong ta je ri songwa ta je ge ta le wese de yabu ju gong suna sana ti sagre pen yo ne de yo ri ta de ne badu gongo lam shela shira gong ya yo mare nyo nyo zi ju gong ju re jo chugo lam che ya de le nyo gre kusum lam cheti gong to ne jirin ge ne ga chang yo re ba cha chebur jin sha gre gong je ji ne de ba je.
So, just to develop certain understanding or approximate understanding about the unity is not that hard. So, since that the sense one is doing a lot of meditations, so it's easy to get a rough understanding about those things. And so now here, if you meditate, you should meditate on these 3 transformations: the transformation of the death into the Dhammakaya, and to meditate and to visualize the 8 signs which occur to one's mind. And when you come to the final state of clear light, you should take time to remain in that meditation as long as possible, because through that one accumulates a lot of merits. And then after that, the second transformation of the Pardo into the state of the Sambhogakaya, and that is a little bit shorter. And then after that, the third transformation of the birth into the Nimanakaya form is even shorter. But if you include these three transformations precisely in one's practice, then that makes the old aspect of the most important aspect of the practice of generation stage is complete in one's practice.
다 추고랑 절대 내가 사실 동반이는 고쳐야 내가 지고도 동반이 고고래 내가 준비 이시를 좋은 양용 고래 해지지 되어도 양용 요긴 소야요 말이야 먼저 요 말에 이네 배 담에 집어주에 되어도 빼르고지니 디 빼제니 살로도니 저서 오면은 쉬베 될라 내려지 임버리 상배찰렀다 매일 치제니 어디 지수바니 고아지 차소나 내려지 내가지 미버체 뭐버체네 내가디 동행에 대동의식 미버체 다 대동의식 되게 동반이 고아충충나 내유의 동행이 나주의 동산통 녀야의 대화침의신이야 대순 로직의 초바대 취지고 내두고 주공의 사바제 어체주 집을 대공주의 마도 야 담에가 시류기에 추송도 상로고 고야요 말 공주요 말 추튼도요 담에가 신도요 다가 나이 중도요 내가 치무치다 중요 말에 마도 파 내버시 단들이 토유지 지시해 그래요 단데 다 제보된 리송아 다다가 나이 담에가 신도요 링지시는 내나세 갈래를 시간이나 아니 용종선 사철을 대용도 아니 미주답에 나와 샤비요래 대령 알아서 칠로 되게 예배 때는 고배 지구 차보 야 롱미 통에 라바유 제가 텐도도 제구 같이 샤비래 대이 주고대 좀멜 팀에다 될라 아니 같이 나주수 감네 누구마 총으로 드디어 콜라 미주 나와 샤비 도 나와 샤비요래 이 용종선을 줘야 돼 타니야 대용고요래 가나미치 나와 샤비요래 안다 나제게 니레 맘민 바도 나와 샤비요래 드디어 걸어 우 찌모 용고요래 되네 콜라 니레 맘미다 나와 샤 바도 나와 샤 우 찌모지 우디 체로고요래 우체 차라다가 나와 깔람바 샤비요래 되네 처린 통한주 처 디고 말이 제바 말란 샤비요래 아니 얘도 나람바 샤비 나통고 주고도 의세 샤비요래 의세게 거서 돈이 오신 거 말이 동산 샤비요래 어다 디제다데 지디 시디 샤다도 난주바에 내가 나주 공동이 러브요래 저는 채워다 나바트 다지 로도쇼
not fashion. So
다바리시에다 자요
no. So he only says that it's very important that we should develop certain understanding of the emptiness and also the certain understanding of the generation of the bliss, and none of us had experienced the simultaneous bliss, but at least that we could compare the ordinary type of bliss as an example for the simultaneous bliss that one can experience, and so that will be sufficient for some time. And then after that after that in this state that we should be precise about the 8 stages. The first one is the dissolution of the earth element into water, and that time the body becomes very heavy, and then one has the sense of asking for help to pull out, that because one is the sense of feeling going under the earth, so one will be asking to pull out, and the body becomes very heavy, and one has the sense of seeing the mirage. And after that, in the second dissolution, then all the water in the mouth will become dry, and then also that one gradually starts to lose the physical heat, the warmth, and so forth. And then one sees the inner sign like the smoke, And then in the third dissolution, then one loses still further all the physical warmth, and one has the sense of seeing the fireflies. And after that, in the fourth dissolution, then the breathing sort of becomes very uneven, and finally it completely stops. The breathing stops, and then in this way that one enters into the white appearance, and after that the red appearance, and then the black appearance, and finally is the clear light. So this is the process that one enters.
That gongja to je tu yu na tanda chisa de gongja. Ma do jin khasin chida jiginga de sejun sti sunro. Gongja gu yu sa. Gong gar je gu yu chebe ni. Gong shoge ngab je gu yu sa. Gar gong gu yu chebe ni. Ni shemin. Gong su lab jun che imbe mi la ma jun sa. Ona gane shen jun chebe pecha jira jun tenan lu sa. Pecha de sure chiribare nambare Pögre Javagre Karisa Mishensa. Tajebu Medusa, Nagdusa, Debu Medusa, Nurochig, who inju. On the rest, Java in Zanta, Kayu, Pelavan Contra Gundedi, Telegile Yujukan.
So His Holiness has met somebody a few days ago, and he told Rinpoche that he was doing meditations. And then Rinpoche asked that who had taught him these meditations. He said nobody had taught him. He just learned that from a text, from a book. And then Rinpoche asked that what type of book, whether it was a Buddhist or anything else. And he said he wasn't sure that what type of book it was. And then, actually, he was so on the verge of sort of becoming crazy, and sort of very depressed, and sort of very uneven in his mind.
Ta dirwa chugola je de goya de da de she sarje direje kusun lanche de jebuji majuna ani gabatone tenere sanga gnyane mare de sutog mare jireju redi jije chenere nanjo ma chenere denjo ndonere karndone ta jebu de ma tudon chibore durin de toz mara zeyore Kangalo jishi durin de tudon chibore sandu durin de jeba yore penabe lugal hatin do ma de chi je ko mado che dani ji luji la na no se de tudon kakachi yore tendele mangre te ma do jembo chiba de chire hajang ta me de kabu mare hotu sunrochi.
So it only says that if one does not include these three transformations into the practice, then the essence of the practice of Tantra is lost. And so any kind of practice, whatever one follows, like the Vajvara or Chakrasambhara Vajayogini, that always this process is always same. That when one receives these 8 signs, inner signs, except there are certain differences in the final absorption. Like in the case of Goya Samaja, then there is a very elaborate way of dissolving the final absorption.
Angaba Abashe Melamaso, Sobenya Yishi Murukosu Yinto de Vashino, Raja de Nina Gaba Sanji Mishover, Gelata Nava Tenesha, Long Tanjinga Tim, Sumo Penji Chevijan, Josh Gube, Guba Inve, Jishi, Derina Raja, Tomar Jubashi, Giva Guba Ino, Tetaraka Venela, Coajeni, Daniel Godin, Yubutewan, Duba Shevaja de Soba, Tomania de Juriji, Varajuni, Choka Oma Menduber, Menduber. Parande chukulan chirla neden to gomor chawo de arare de wachamo so mebe de mo yeji ji se de ba shen do ka wan thom je ke sama chamo ja mo la ji we cha chime se de le ji da so ma dar de shen de be zalung ge me ba chu so ji ta mebe de wa per che ni cha se me de na che ni se me de we nya ji tu cha de da ma ni de ju do shu de ran la tin be sa chu la tin be da mi ju da bo Measure double shower, Mavata, Ran Laraseva, Tugetan Latimbe, Cho Mela Timeta, Tuata, you give a Richata Latim, Lo, Timeta, Simo Mishita, Tayu Koboko, 다요 고방고 올라 텐베 롱 노라 텐베 다 마미 나달라람 바로 다보 당고 다실라 텐베 노 노와가람바다 다시 틀라 텐베 샤바마나바 케네 나달라 텐베 도 나마다 나다 자마지와 나와요 말려바 동성도 주바 나외세 외세데 농무 난다 자마지와 나와요 되베 또 동성다 냐대야 대주 장매지 동바서 많이 벌 공연라지 제매베서 수진지 될 때라면 무슨 예지 순지 대외 동행이 베대동 나대동대 되냐다시 제대로들 들이 주공이 자도 가진 주 지도 전에 제주시네 저 주고랑 제르면 예지 주수도 중로 내도 개와 이노 대다라 인나요 대다라 인나 나 오늘 대다라 인나 다외기 시대는 많이 비치고 주고랑 지고서 매버 인나시나 다만서 동예마도 계속해 대개다가 쉬어야 되죠. 내라라면은 제버진 여보 뭐가자도 다가자라만 계속 전부 누가 도지 장도선때 나와된 저저 수배 정부 다행히 많이 받아 지금 하지 동자 그 버라지메 라지지메 동바고 냐바 제나 고쳐봐 라마 고만나 손주 제버진 인시가 페베 대나지를 라지메 라지지메 냐도 공부 드라질라 인디 제버 손와리 돈지로 유도샤로 마이야 타지에다가 많이 집어도 하지 동자 그 라지지 동바원야도 고나리시티 더토지 체당 고베 명아 제버진라면 송거주지 지버송 요번이노 대단한 메시지부터 고이셔버 제바마이 버 서모도바니엘라지 진이지 레버 추구소 이바바도 공고람체네사 다 알리 추구하셔도 살이 단디 시다 주고 사금면도 면도디네 페마도바지 시작이 되는 강가지바 임금아에 내나다 가시 아니야래레 민부 시라야고 징해요나 페마도바지야나니 다 보마들 대베서 차그리 상마로게 단데 주변이 되래 되니지냐래 민부 야고 징해 가셔다 요가 다 주고 그러는데 매나다 매망부터 가지래 리그 비시지 말이 어디 손로지 뭐 그래스
So it only says that this part of the transformation of the death into the Dhammakaya state is complete, and so actually there are a lot of things to be explained about this practice, and since that there are many people who have gathered here to receive these teachings, and out of those great number there must be few that who have real interest for this particular practice.
다 산이 들이자 사바임이요. 산나바. 산이 부부 바산이의 셰지요리. 산이 요말베. 또 야버리구나. 뭐기도 나라 산이 셰지요 말이 사스로치 다야.
So it's only will continue on Friday evening.
다른 나니가 사파선을 파산이고 셰지요리. 고투지요리. 뱀바니고 니만년세 추트레디 뒤주인이 쇼게 셰버야. 니고절레 레카메나 니고절레 지셰나 마도 용사마리스르지.
So it's only will continue on Friday, and also on Saturday there will be 2 sessions, one in the morning and one in the afternoon.
야 요절레 같이 누구 컨테이너 리뮤체 공해요나 야 배샤마라 신디고 말이 내가 쇼는 리고 말이 대상이 너요 그런 스케치는 내대체 제 모두 먹을 수 있지 맛은 셰지 어야 단산이 뭐니 거 된대래 저원이 뭐니 거 맞아봐라 철야 동사를 차다마사 선로요 말이 리미르지스 차네 데레 마사나 라마 데다마데 구동 츠바제스야 그러지 저라도 차르 저도 메슬레요 그래 가시
So it only says that he will give this Chöd teachings, the initiation of the Chöd practice on Sunday, since it has already been announced. So people are coming to receive these teachings. So there's no way to put it off.
레든 마사드 쇼나네 제진디 아부지로 주라나 저랑서 냐lên 미버 존나서 내려 지고요. 지저좀 초지네 틀레녀 부시오지레. 왜 랑기 지수송야데 시라야 보레. ke ma shen le ji zu zhong so de ni ji zu zhong ni be shi ra de yong yo lo ju ji ba je ju ge lo ju de tara na de song to na ta ne lo ju shi ra yo me da ro shi lo ma ju le ta he ma he me de ja ga ge de ten sang yu do me sang bo de ten sang ji ge ne 라마도 샤 봉카고 셰로 지레 비샤기 시 케버테 마레 소부지레 되게 쓰다만이 지쇼 고주 수주 시다 요 말이 때가 침부레 로마도 소아다 몽 시라제 셰마 말이 되니 바이 심버레.
So Hison thinks that he hopes to complete anyway the explanations of the generation of the deity. And since this is a very profound and a very sort of very swift in practice, and even the stupid person without very much learning also can achieve a lot through this particular practice. And if one is to read the accounts of the great master Taranatha, one can see a lot of the cases and stories that where Tara had helped the beings. And even one recent case is a disciple of Judge Pamukha, who was a Mongolian, and he wasn't very learned, but he was very devoted, and he recited a lot of prayers of Tara. So when he left for his when he left for Mongolia, then he was going through along a very big desert of sand, and so that was difficult to find water to drink.
That's sunny. Tarin kuicho maravare. That's sunny. Mashindo kabureti. Shine patji mandu na rijima jizume chi jen chuji na yung shi chesam. Sunny roza. Anime zaru to jide sachi levare. Sinjin gujo to tong shayore. Tata ya sinjin yude du. Sinjin yude mi yujiri. Chu yujiri sam pose baru de bangje. So sinjin ya rabu biro tile tongore. Ani bhajna bhaj bi shayore. Ruwaduji. Badina pomuji rayore. Te chimbar. Anti kayaje jalu omate shoti zambate soni kore jebuche de jugar.
So then, so he for one day he didn't find any water. So next day, then he thought he was going to die of great thirst. But then finally he saw some signs of animals, and then finally he came on a very nice meadow, and then he saw some animals like yaks and so forth. And then finally he saw a black tent. So there was a lady who took care of him and gave everything what he needed, such as like the milk and the yogurt and some and so forth.
Gonda Sinje Mangudosa, Sinje so going to Oma Junior, Tronia, Jirecol, Yobun Zadime, Pumadimado Medusa. I know that I day in some. And the Sanina Kodrohala, Chetan Rubin is a Pumita Maru de Shuta. Cheron, you may Jew Sunusa, Chede, Alagao, Pumuchi Lemon Te de Gache, Jumaku, you will swim you are some. And Rubin Jewelry. Tan ruina, c'era già giocato moto ya chuyo ma da to chumesa ligris. An zamba zangu cheba chi tegore. Cha to si cha hunlu, mama ku na to silu. Mangu yo mare. Kumatus. Chero ku tu maris. Tene kore jodu twa chi no za ji to ne kiyu mare. Zande ne mazu lumbe za chi re, chero ni kes. Langa mu shingu mare. Gonda Niebe could then Zakonji Niego de Zu. And Sancho Zadin Gokaba, Lord, no, then one who rests Jevere. And could Zadi Keza, Zamba Zova Samaja, Jakanga Tu Maton, Sama Shosho Ajevere.
So then, he was quite surprised to find that this lady has so many animals, but she was alone in the tent. And then, so next day, then he said, he told the lady that he was leaving. And the lady told him that if he would like to stay there, he could stay there, and she would offer all the services that he needed. But he said he was leaving. And then she gave him some provisions, like a tsamba and some tea and some butter. and also that she gave him a bunch of grass from that place, saying that you should take it with you, and whenever you then go to sleep, you should put then this grass on the at the forehead, and then so where it sort of then showed the tip of the grass in the morning, then you should go in that direction and you will have no problems.
Somebody check out the mother Masadu Sonia young said Lundigri. Chata Mani to Sashin Yaya Lundigri. Zat Zuzu running. Sapayu Malebado. Then you imagine the Sunny Korong Lumamushing Korean Trumatin Ledo Chen, Sancho Zama Medusani, Zodenri, Zambazo, Jazo, Mazo. All the rest Johnny, Jizome Mijayu, Coraso, Liu, Sajuni, Langani, Teresile. Let them Malene, the Vajedum, Coraton Chedene, and she do a Beshita, which on your imber.
So what happened is that he had no problems. He always found the water to drink, and then he never emptied sort of his bag of tsamba. So whatever he used, that it still is filled up again next day. So it only ended that when he came to his village, then his bag was completely empty. So finally it was said that this person, because of his great devotion to Tara, and he died with many special sort of signs, indications.
My logic on my chamber, they suppose my young Loning Hela, Losunji made devil. Mandrosa Lumbachi Nala, Amagamuchi, the Chevere. Drumo Coratan de Viore, Onjizuma Pamaduma, the Chaselamato, Chogatan Soba, and Chita Agampadi Shemamare. Jizuma Pamaduma, Chasita, Shulka Yuzaji, there on the Amachiore.
So when Rinpoche, at one time that Rinpoche went back to Kham, East Tibet, and he spent 3 or 4 years there, and there he met an old lady. She recited always these prayers of 21 prayers to Tara, and she wasn't able to recite sadhanas or like that, but only recited the 21 prayers to Tara.
Michilo, Chugura, the Shajon Chuju, Kodesa, and the Jin, never Mesongi. And Mesongi Nema, Chakalama, General Corolla.
And so she was very old, but she wasn't sick, had very good health, but she had difficult to go up through the ladders, through the stairs. So instead, then she preferred to stay at the door. There's in a little house, and then where the family then would bring everything what she needed, such as like the tea and the tsambas and so forth.
And the game was shit at it in Hatsawa Mavache, some so Kala Jen Jack into the segments, Sagrioma. Zanima is a Nize Sagrioma. That's so thing is, that's how much Togojadius.
So sometimes the family would bring her certain food, and sometimes she wouldn't even eat, say that I have already eaten. So sometimes she refused eating for days long. And then when they asked her that what she had eaten, she said she couldn't name the type of food that she had eaten. Somebody brought a very nice girl had brought her some food, so which she couldn't describe with name.
And Yonza Perlons, Pomuni, Sundo, Meta de los Ujuja, Lema Shirat, Lega Chigdu, Pomuni, Chunju Sundo, Tapelons. Teletava Shedregi Koyone, Tochita Marin Ride, which Lucashe Dene, Halan Lojeju, which you never Tejuma Amatrone go to Amatrone, Pumule and Jasuburi.
So she said that sometimes not only one, but sometimes even 2 or 3 girls then would come and bring food to her, and sometimes they would stay there and then plait her hair in the different ways. But then somebody would come, they instantly ran away. And this lady lived about 80 or 90 years. So when she died, it was said that there came sort of a rainbow to the body of this lady. So that was an indication that she had gone to the land of the Dakinis. So, so there was a person that who never accepted the tantra as being taught by the Buddha. So at one time that he was crossing a river, and the river was very big, and then he was carried away by the wave, and then he thought that those who follow the practice of the great vehicle, they have a certain deity called Tara. So that might sort of be a help. So then he called for help by the name of Tara, and then sometime just close to that river on a field, there was an image of Tara being carved on a wooden on a wooden thing, and then she came to help. She came to his rescue and said that you never remember me usually, but only today.
Sange